that, but can you explain that?
Yeah, sure. Um, I am a huge fan of both comedy and body horror movies. If you know, like David Cronenberg, movies like The Fly, things where something really kind of crazy happens to somebody's body, those really excite me. But I also love sort of innocent, fun coming of age movies, and I really wanted to kind of reconcile those things. So I was thinking about what would kind of uh, for a coming of age story, what could be a sort of interesting body consideration, transformation, something like that. And he came to mind. So, yeah,
Too creative.
I appreciate it.
So you and Paul are wed. Correct? No. Keep the mic. I'll use my theater voice. You and Paul are wed. How long did you want to work on something with Paul?
I have been working on things with Paul, I feel like, for a long time, but I'm not a filmmaker. I'm a storyteller more in written words and in photography. So this was really a foray for me into joint adventure and into then trying to turn it into something that could work on the screen. And I know that I have a lot to learn, but it was fun.
Yeah, great job, both of you. And then for Jeanette, I loved how you took the story of missing Indigenous women and tied it into something supernatural. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I think for this project, it was really much inspired by Jordan Peele, really just taking this issue that is real and also the love that I have for horror cinematography and to sort of bring it into it. So it's informing you, but it's also entertaining you. So that's what I really wanted to do, was to let people know about this issue, but also scare the crap out of them at the same time.
So what I'm going to do now is open up the floor for questions if you have any for the three filmmakers, three storytellers.
I'm curious about why you used Kodak. How did that work?
Yeah, so the film was thank you. So I shot that film my senior year of college, and the school that I went to, we were very fortunate to have like a 16 millimeter program. So I watched a lot of movies from the 60s, 70s, 80s that are shot on 16 or shot on various film stocks that have a really nice kind of vintage grain. And yeah, I don't know. For one, it looks really good. It's also, there's something kind of seedy, pulpy about things shot on film. And so I feel like that lent well to the story I was trying to tell. It's a little bit kind of campy, seedy. And I thought the medium sort of enhanced the comedy a little bit, added definitely a gravity to the story. But yeah, I don't know. It was a fun kind of challenge to take on. Yeah.
Sunny, filming, what was the temperature like when you were filming? Because I just get cold watching your film and you were watching 80 for 80. Just cold, I get cold. So I was right there with you and Paul. And just rooting everybody on. So tell us about that.
It was probably not as cold as the previous conditions that Paul had experienced that the film very briefly touched on, where 30 years ago he ended up marooned for 14 days without food trying to get out from there. But we were there this past summer and it was, I'd say in the 40s probably most of the time. It got below freezing a couple times at night, but all things considered, it was a good adventure and I think a good soul-searching trip for the two of us together.
But I'm curious about the equipment, carrying all the equipment and working with the weather, but also trying to get the shots and then turning about.
Yeah, for sure. And really, there was almost no equipment. It was shot on mobile, and I had one little lapel mic, and that was it. And first attempts with editing.
Great job, and job. Come on, I know there's more questions out there.
Well, I can put some input on my film when it comes to cold. We shot it in February and it was freezing. It was it may not look like it on the film, but it was cold. We were trying to use a generator one day and it was just so cold that it wouldn't start. So we had to completely just cut that whole day out and try it another day. So yeah, don't try filming stuff in the cold.
Other questions? Now I'm wondering, Jeanette, what was your favorite part of working on that film? And how do you think you've grown as a filmmaker since filming it? I know it's been since.
Yeah, I think my favorite part was, I don't know, maybe the first shot, maybe the first scene that we ever did, maybe going out into the, seeing it actually be done. I mean, like, I went to film school too, and it's just like you spend so much time planning and writing it, and when it comes all done and it's right there and you have a whole group of people, supporting you, having your back, it's really a unique thing to watch everybody, putting so much effort as you did into the film. And I think it was a real surreal moment. Like, I can't believe this is actually happening. Like, I never thought it was going to happen. And in terms of what I've learned now, I think probably sound. Yeah, I'm currently a radio journalist at KUNM, so like I know a lot more about audio than I did before, and I know some of the in the film it goes sort of in and out. So I know a few more that would probably help moving forward for future films.
And I'm just glad that you stuck with it, because I always say sound and lighting are the first thing that takes me out. If I can't hear you or if I can't see you, I'm bored and I just stop watching. But I really just admire filmmakers. I'm a filmmaker, so I know what it takes to put together a tribe to help you with your film. Can we talk about what's next for all three of you? Okay. Being sorry.
Sure. Appreciate it. Let's see. I mean, I've been writing a bunch. I write primarily shorts, comedy shorts, such as On Track. I'm planning to shoot something in June of 2026. So keep your eyes peeled for something called League Bound. Yeah.
Can you give us a quick idea of what it's about?
Yeah, it's about somebody trying to make the greatest basketball mixtape ever. And all the odds are stacked against him.
I have a lot of footage and no time or schooling to properly work with it. So my hope is I have a lot of footage on something really, really cold, from racing on the Iditarod Trail in Alaska, again with Paul, which is I think a story of discovery and pushing limits and coming together as a married couple in a very different way. And I would love to go and make something out of that, but I don't even know where to start. So hopefully that'll be on the horizon somewhere.
Yeah, I've also been doing a lot of writing as well, and I think I'm moving for now from horror to comedy. So I have this one idea about sort of like a meet cute, like a couple coming together. They have this relationship. They're Native Americans, so like something about their ancestors. Like we always say, our ancestors are always with us. So the idea of like these two ancestors like not getting along, but they're forced to be together because this relationship is together. And then like essentially like they would be mimes, so they wouldn't be talking. So it's sort of a lot of like stand-up comedy thing. But like I guess the end of it would be funny because the relationship would end up like they would break up. But these ancestor guys, these bros, they would be like best friends forever. And they have to, go apart because they broke up. So it's something like that. So stay tuned.
So are there any other questions? If not, let's give these filmmakers a round of applause because they deserve it. Very much deserve it. Our programming starts tomorrow at 3 p.m. and it runs until about 9:30. There'll be Q&As all during the afternoon. Again, I'm promoting our networking event at the Zaz Hotel. I know a lot of our out-of-towners are staying there. We're going to be in their Speakeasy Lounge. It's all for us tomorrow night. We'll have stuff for you to eat there. If you want a drink, you just buy a drink at the bar at the Zaz Hotel. But I will be there talking to you, Sunny. Hopefully, networking, that's the whole point, because you got to get your work out there. Betty White had a quote, because Betty White lived to be almost 100. She said, "You are never too old to do anything." And I always remember that because I'm in my 60s. So, and look at me now. So thank you again for coming tonight and supporting independent film. You are supporting the community. So thank you very much. Have a great night, and I hope to see some of you tomorrow as well.